Hey guys, welcome to this channel. This is going to be the first video of this channel. I hope you stay and I hope you enjoy. We are going to be looking at Gamestop, and I chose this stock specifically because I have been holding this and analyzing this for a really long time now. I have been reading a lot and studying a lot about the Elliott wave theory. If you've never heard of it or you're new to it, then you can, try to learn some things, because I am also just learning Elliott wave theory. It has been less than a year actually where I have been reading and studying and analyzing Elliott wave theory. There are a lot of things to learn, and because I've only learned it for less than a year, I definitely don't have everything down to a T. So whether you're new or you're experienced in Elliott wave theory, or you don't even know anything about it, let's work together and try to figure this out. And I mean this as in everything, because all stocks will be following essentially the same pattern. In terms of Elliott wave theory, it would always be an impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or and a corrective ABC with some nuance between that. Maybe you'll have like a leading diagonal or a ending diagonal, right? But that we will discuss a bit after. Anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoy your stay. Like this video, subscribe. I'm trying to reach I don't know, 2 billion subscribers. So anyways, yeah, without further ado, let's talk about GameStop. I have this right here, GameStop, in the 1 week or the weekly time frame. It's a lot easier to count. With like the 10, 20, 30 minute time frames, you have a lot of like movement, which can mess up your count, to be honest. If you see something that I do wrong, just please let me know in the comments, because I am still learning. So anyways, I know there's a lot of clutter here, but please ignore that for now. Everything will make sense sooner or later, hopefully. So what we have here is, as you can see, I have an A, B, C count, which is a corrective wave. But corrective waves usually would be going on the downtrend, right? So it would be like an A, B, C. That's generally a zigzag corrective wave. But you see, I have it reversed on the upside. It's definitely, I would say it's unusual. I'm not sure. Someone can fact check me. But it does happen. I also have it counting as a 1, 2, and then we would be making our 3, and also C, or I mean sorry, not also, and or C wave. The C wave would subdivide into 5 waves, right? So if it's a C wave, it would move into 5. If it is a 3 wave or a third wave in an impulse, it would also be subdivided into 5. So regardless of whether this is an A or a 1, essentially what we have going on right now, it wouldn't really matter that much. It's just one thing to keep in mind. So what we have here is an A, B, and a C. I'm just gonna stick with that because honestly, in my mind, the way I'm counting it, it honestly makes a lot more sense. But again, in the very end, it doesn't matter much because C wave moves in 5s, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also the third wave would also be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So honestly, it doesn't matter. It's only just a price target that kind of matters, because in a corrective wave, ABC, what we have here, usually wave C, A, B, C. I really gotta change these. Here, ABC. usually what happens is that this A wave would be the same length as this C wave. Or, I mean, well, vice versa, same thing, right? C would be the same as A, and A would be the same as C. That is the most common retracement level. So essentially what we have is this, if you were to measure this, it should be 100, like, sorry. If you were to measure this, right, it would go up to 100. You move it the same here, it would be 100. Right? In other terms, if you were to do 100 here, right, it would end up being 1, right? This line is the same as this line. That is the most common retracement level. Of course, there is different, like less common retracement levels, which is actually 0.618 and 1.618. So that means that wave C is the length of A, 0.618A, or 1.618A. So you would multiply this by the length of that, or this of the length of this. That is what you would get for length of C. But again, the most common, absolutely most common, is 1, a 1 ratio, right? Oops, I'll just delete this. So, because of that, it really makes this move, right? A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. Either way, it's going to be very bullish, right? Because, let's see, I already drew this here, but what we would have is, if this is A and this is a B, right? The 100 level would be right here. This length would be the same as this length, right? So here, let me show you this. We have this here, and if it is a 1, right, I have it marked here, this is a 1. If it goes to here, it would come here. Now look what we have here. If this ends up being here, right, what we have here is, because B broke out right at this level, we would be drawing, or we would be bringing over a line from the top of A to the beginning of A, right? Just moving it along right here, right at where B ends and where you would anticipate C to end. Now, without getting too bullish, just look at the price level. This, a basic ABC structure would leave us, or I mean leave GameStop at a mind-boggling 1,848. And like, obviously this is not super accurate, I don't have it to the very cent, but around, you know, $1,800, let's just say that, right? So either way, whatever way you're looking at it, that is so bullish. How can you be bearish about this, right? This, just the fact that this is A would, and this it retraces back down here, it would bring GameStop ultimately to $1,800. Let's just say that C ends up being, you know, 0.618, the length of A. Okay, now if you take a look at this, right, I already have it drawn out, but if it ends up being the same length of A, but 0.618 times A, right, we're still looking at 248, approximately $248. Now, the way that GameStop is trading right now at $22, you're well over 10 times the amount that you would have invested if you were to hold through all of this movement and just sell right here. Of course, again, like me personally, I holding this stock for a long time and knowing that the community behind it is just diamond holders, you know, I mean, sorry, diamond handed, and they're just holders for life, right? I find it very hard to, you know, believe that it's only going to hit $248. I find it very hard to believe. But I mean, honestly, like don't take my word for it, right? Don't take none of this that I'm saying in this video is financial advice, and nothing in this channel is construed as financial advice. I don't give any advice. This is just entertainment purposes, right? But look at this. Like, tell me, how can you not be bullish with this? The least, if I am correct, and this is an ABC, it would go from $22 as of today, right? $22 up to 240 whatever, right? 240 around so. Now, of course, again, if you're ultra bullish, right, you can say it's 1.618, which is somewhere, you know, really insane, really insane. But you know, let's not focus too much on that, because we'll see when we get there, right? We'll see when we get there. I'm not saying that it can't get there. The likelihood of it getting there, obviously, you know, as price keeps going up, the likelihood goes down, right? So, you know, if you're planning to hold for a very long time, then it doesn't even matter for you, right? Like, if you're a lifetime holder, it doesn't matter. And may I remind you that this isn't, the way I am counting this, of course, is an ABC. Now, if you decide that it is a 5-wave move and this is a 1, 2, 3, just remember that 3, if it is a 3, we're still looking at a 1 times move, right? So because 3 can't be, you know, shorter than a 1. That just would invalidate the whole wave. Okay, so of course 3, it would have to be a minimum of 1, but it can also extend, so it can easily go up to like 1.618, you know, 2.618, you know, the sky's the limit. So the way that I'm counting it being a C is already, and still reaching, you know, $250, is still incredibly bullish. I'm not even looking at the impulsive wave, because that would be even more insane. So this is exactly why I'm only gonna stick to, you know, a C movement, right? And either way, you know, like, we're kind of in the dark right now. We just want to see how GameStop develops from here. So anyways, I'm digressing again. Okay, back to now. Okay, now we're gonna go into the daily chart. So talking about this here, obviously we had this long correction, and because of this breakout of this, right, this correction, because of this obvious breakout, this is gonna be the next wave, the new wave count. So we would have a 1 into a 2, you know, into a 3. So again, the reason why I like to look at it in a bigger time frame is because it is definitely easier to count the waves. You take a look on the weekly here, and you can see there's a ABC, right? And then you can say that, you know, this is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into ABC. But now, if we take a look into the daily chart, this is where I get stumped. We go ABC, right? C can be right here, where it can be a running flat. C right here. But then what the hell is this? How would you even count this? You can't say this is a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. That is just really incorrect, because wave 1 would be way too long. That would be way too long. You say it's a 1 here, into a 2, into a 3, and then a 4, and then a 5. And what is this? What the hell is that? That does not look correct whatsoever. So the thing I would say is that it could be, you know, a double, right? Double combo. So you would have as an A, B, C, and then somewhere an X, right? An X movement, or I guess I mean X, and then A, B, C right here. It'd be something like that. And then we would have the starting move, right? C, A, B, C. And then we would start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this would end up being the 1 of a much smaller wave, right? So that currently is how I am counting it. The thing is, the way that GameStop is moving right now, the way that the price action is moving right now, it's really hideous. It's so hard to count, honestly. The thing is, a diagonal, okay, this is another, another type of wave. So a diagonal goes like this. It goes like, starts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. There's gonna be a lot of overlapping price action, you know? You see here that the wave 4, which in an impulsive wave, right? Just a standard impulse wave, you can never have wave 4 crossing over into wave 1 territory. You can never have it doing that. So in the impulsive wave, it would usually be like something like that. It's a very clear and cut, move. 1, 2, 3, usually extended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In a diagonal, however, you're going to see a lot of overlapping price action, but overall it's going to be a higher high and a higher low, right? So this is why it would be, 1, 2, 3, but then 4, it would cross into 1 territory, but it wouldn't go lower than a 2. And 3, 4, 5, so these would also be going higher, but it wouldn't be, as explosive as this impulsive wave. And the way that this is being counted, sorry, let me undo that. The way that this diagonal is being counted, either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1BC into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an ABC into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, there are what makes diagonals so complicated is that there is no defined wave count, because it can be also counted as ABC, right? Wait, ABC, ABC, same thing, ABC, ABC, and ABC. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, counting as an ABC, but it would move in waves of 3. That is what this book, Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Precher, has in which I use and I have read over and over again. Effectively what they say is that you cannot have you cannot be certain about the wave count between this 1, 3, and 5, because you can see that it's a 3-wave move or a 5-wave move. And this is important because what we have here, let me just get rid of this. What we have here, you can arguably see that this is a 5-wave move, right? Sorry, this is a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now, even if we do the extension, right, here, we can see that it goes 1, 2, 3, so close there, 4, and then 5, ending right at 2.618. You can say that. However, you can also argue, this can be A, B, C, right? A, B, C. That's also possible, right? And you take a look at this, you know, A, B, C, right? Three-wave move. And this is why I'm saying that this entire thing can be a diagonal, because the way that you count this is, well, actually, how would you count this, right? Would it be an A, B, C? Like a 1, 2, 3, three-wave move? Or would you count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So it's because of this that it really gets me, you know? This is really what trips me up. But the way that diagonals, you know, create like the structure of a diagonal moves is, you know, either a 3 or a 5, because there's no like definitive answer for that. And this really fits that description, which is why I'm counting this as a diagonal, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, which we would be in the midst of in right now, what we would be in the midst of, and then we would be completing into a 5, like somewhere along here, just like a, you know, just a little bit higher than 3, because as you can see that if this is a 3, this will be a 1. This 3 barely surpassed this, right? How much is it? It's only a 4 point, you know, 4% around there. Now, if it is a diagonal, the thing is, well, I should actually be more specific. It's a leading diagonal, because they can only develop as in wave 1s, right? So if it is a leading diagonal, it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that would be the complete one, which would usually in a leading diagonal, it would come with a very steep drop. So in diagonals, their wave 2s usually would be very steep. As per the book, let's just assume that the fifth wave goes here, right? $38, because we have a really strong, you know, Fibonacci line here. Let's just say it goes to $38 on wave 5. We would be looking towards a 78.6 to 88.6, or even more of a retracement, just not to the initial run, right? Initial move. So if it does end up being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal, we would be looking for a GameStop to drop like a rock and back down to 22.37 to 20.90 within this range, right? And it's not even hard to believe, just based off of the price action that GameStop has been, you know, developing over, you know, years and years. I mean, look at this, right? It's just a long, convoluted, you know, structure which just keeps going down and down and down. So I would not be surprised if this ends up being a diagonal, which would, again, this let me just make this clear. This price action, I mean this price target that we have here, right? 240, right? This price target that we have here, like it is going to get there. It's just a matter of time. It will get there eventually, like whether it be, you know, days, months, weeks, years even. I highly doubt it will, but it will eventually get there. It's just how does it develop that structure to get there. Now the thing is, now you might be saying like, oh my god, it's a damn leading diagonal which has a steep drop, and it's gonna take years and years and whatever, right? But the thing is, okay, now a leading diagonal is one indicator of an extended wave 3, and I mean extended wave 3. If wave 1 is a leading diagonal where it just comes down into whatever, right? We'd have a 1, 2, and then comes back down to whatever, $22. The next move up the microwave 3 would be extended. Like we would be looking past maybe like 1.618, you know, but it can definitely go higher than that. It can hit, you know, 2.618 like in a breeze. It'll be so easy for it. So I wouldn't be surprised, right, to hit, you know, $81, you know, 116, 120, 132. I wouldn't be surprised if it did that. It's just, again, it's a matter of time, because the way that it is developing, this time, this price action right here is actually a really good time to just accumulate shares, because the way that's moving, it's like, look at this, right? Look how muted this is. It's like a spring. It's just ready to blow up. And again, if you just take a look at these indicators, I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into this, but this is about to flip, and also this is about to flip. It's gonna go green. Well, I mean, it is green, but it's gonna, you know, it's like, you know that it's gonna be moving up soon. And you know that GameStop has really impulsive moves up, really explosive moves up. So, you know, this price action is the best time to be accumulating shares. Of course, not financial advice, but it is the best time, in my personal opinion. It is a very good time to accumulate before it shoots up into wherever this wave 3 is. What I have here is generally, we have hit this level. Well, I mean, we kind of surpassed it, right? It's up to right here, 65.16, right? So we have hit this level. So what I am anticipating for the wave 3 is to actually, you know, either come back here or here. That is kind of what I'm looking towards in the smaller frame, right? A 1, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'd be a 1, 2, and then 3 somewhere like here, right? Or I guess like here, somewhere like here. Somewhere like that, right? Before it does a 4 and then a 5, which would complete the third wave move. Like, historically speaking, the fifth wave of GameStop is always the one that is super impulsive, right? So I mean explosive. So this one, we see the last wave, right? The last wave really brought it up from, you know, $18 to $60. It goes the same for this one. You know, you can say that this is the last wave up from $4.30 all the way to $115. So with that being said, I would kind of believe that, or like have strong suspicion that the final wave would be the one to really send us up. Which is why for this wave 3 that I have here currently, I would just assume, you know, it's gonna be around $100 maybe, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of stopped here at this, you know, $81 mark before it retraces back down and then has an explosive fifth wave, the final wave, which is why I have here 1.618, $380 for wave 3. Now, for me, I'm kind of anticipating it to reach this 1.618 level of about $380. That's kind of my, I guess, technical thesis, that it's gonna go this area in the bigger wave 3, right? So we have the 1, 2 into a lead into a 3. So what we have here is, let me just delete this. You know, again from the low, right here, into the top one, and then the low, the next low here, right? Actually, well, yeah. You can actually put it down here, I missed it. Okay. Right there. Now obviously it's not to the cent, right? So I'm getting, you know, a few dollars or a few cents difference. But again, you know, it's more or less the same place, right? Like $369 into this wave, into wave 3. Because again, this wave that we're moving here, 1, 2, 3, this 3, we still wouldn't be done the entire wave, because again, wave C, not even wave C, an impulse wave of 1, 1, 3, and 5, and wave C of a corrective wave will always have 5 waves. So this is only 1, 2, 3, ending over here at $370 before we ultimately go into 4 and then 5 territory, which I have over here, which is actually this right here. I have it right here at $1,800 roughly. So looking back into this area here, at where we are right now, I said before that it looks to be a leading diagonal with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but again, I can't really 100% confirm that it is until we finish this move, right? Because let's say it's not, and it's actually just a 1 into a corrective wave, right? A, B, C. Like this can arguably be a corrective wave right here. B, C, A, B, C. Definitely doesn't look like it, but it could still be developing. Maybe it can be an A, B, and then C, which brings us even lower, where it can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Somewhere around here. Because again, the C wave would be moving into 5s, right? Into 5 waves. So you can argue, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 somewhere. That's also a possibility. I don't really see it. The way I'm seeing this is a leading diagonal, and ultimately this stuff doesn't really matter much. What I am looking for is the third wave. I just want to see where it goes, because with that information we can have a better judgment, right? So when we get that wave 3 and where we top out, it's gonna tell us where the next level will be. And again, wave 3 is gonna be impulsive, right? It's gonna be explosive as well. So that's kind of all I'm looking for right now, regardless of whatever happens here. Now, before I leave you, let me just give you a little bit of my confirmation bias, right? Again, if we're looking at the weekly chart, the thing is, A, B, and C. If this is A, B, C, most likely it will go to a 1 retracement, which will be here. If it's a 1, 2, 3, it will also be at least a 1 level, right? So either way, we're looking very, very good for this level right here. 1, 8, let's just round it up, right? 1800, I mean 1850, or round it down at 1800. Approximately that area. So that place is it's very, very, very likely to hit this. As per, like, as in terms of time, I don't know when. No one really knows when. You know, it could take years for that to happen. I'm not gonna put that off the table. You know, honestly, like this move right here already took us how many weeks, right? 169 bars, 1,182 days. So if this move here, leading up to $1,800, this could also very well take years to develop. So, you know, like, I mean, like, honestly, is there really much to complain when you have, you know, this price target right here? Like, we're trading at like, oh my god, look at this. It's what, 7,000, 8,000%, right? is there like, I don't know, personally there's nothing much to complain about. I just kind of wait, just be patient and wait, and yeah, I mean, this is what I'm gonna leave you with. You know, like this video, share this, subscribe if you want to see more stuff. Let me know if you like this video. You know, let me know if you want me to do more videos like this. I don't know. This is kind of just like a just testing the waters, because I'm still learning this stuff. I know others would be willing to learn this stuff, so you know, yeah, just let me know, and I'll hopefully catch you guys later.